Hi, hello, everybody, and welcome to Kingdom Compass TV, the show where we talk about shows all across streaming services on the internet. I'm one of your hosts, Griffin Tadell, Griffin D. Padless. As always, the wonderful, the amazing Mr. Mitch George. How are you doing today?
I may look very silly when this episode comes out.
I mean, this episode's going to go out immediately.
Right, but within hours, it could make me look like an idiot.
I am impressed that we both went for the jersey today.
I'm more surprised that you did, just because your team's already clinched the playoffs. I need to cling to all hope.
It's mostly just to rub it in. We're there, we're chilling, we're good. But this is not a football podcast, folks. Don't worry. You have not randomly tuned into Let's Complain About the NFL this year. We are talking today about...
Oh, that would be a long episode. Oh, my God.
We're talking today about Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Season 2. Episode 3. Episode 4. And Episode 5. That's right, folks. We took a little bit of a break. Because guess what? It was the holidays. No, stop that. Don't do that, Mitch. For both, it's just weird, and also it was really messing with the lighting of your camera.
I know. And you've complained about that before, and I just brought it back.
Yeah, we're talking about 3 episodes here, folks. We took a little bit of break over the holidays to talk things. We were going to do an episode 3 episode, and then we decided to talk about Avatar instead.
Was that a good choice? You'll have to go and watch or listen to that episode to find out.
Yeah, it's there. Listen to it. Listen to all of our stuff because, hey, guess what, folks? We got 2 things happening right now. A little bit of housekeeping for you before we jump into Percy Jackson talk. First and foremost, hey, new episodes are coming. Our most recent episode was about Avatar 3. Did we like it? Did we hate it? Does Avatar as a franchise still suck? Listen to the podcast to find out. Also, we just wrapped up another TV series. We just wrapped up our first ever non-Disney series talking about the Mighty Nine. It was awesome. It was fun. You should really listen to those episodes because they are 2 very fun episodes.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Griffin just nerds out and Mitch just suffers.
Griffin nerding out could be the alternate title to this podcast.
I mean, this entire podcast exists because we're nerds and like talking about Disney.
Yeah, that's also very fair.
But yeah, go check those out. They're good times. And just as a general note for shows and whatnot going forward, of course, we want to know what you guys think we should watch. So please let us know in the comments below, or really anywhere that you can find us. But there is another show we were going to be doing after this one. Officially at this point, the next show that we'll be talking about after Percy Jackson is going to be Wonder Man. We are going back to Marvel for that. It should be a good time.
Will we, though? Because they are dropping all episodes at once.
Oh, well, shit. It might be a one-off.
I'm pretty sure that I read that somewhere. Let me just go and confirm that I'm not an insane person.
I could have sworn Wonder Man was doing week by week.
I think it was originally, but I think the most recent trailer actually confirmed that it was going to be
released in its entirety on Disney Plus on January 27th.
All at once.
Well, shit. Okay, we'll find something to do after that. We will be talking about that, though, at the end of the month. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for a bunch of really fun things coming soon. All that said and done, Mitch.
Daredevil's coming at some point. I'd honestly, before we even get to the end of the month, it might actually be an interesting topic if our next episode was just looking ahead at Disney's 2026 for movies and film.
I have that planned for us. And then Avengers stuff started happening and I pivoted.
That still isn't final yet. We can always do both.
True. Very true. But yeah, we're talking today about 3 episodes. We're talking about episode 3, We Board the Princess Andromeda. Episode 4, Clarice Blows Up Everything. And episode 5, we check in to Cece's Spa and Resort. Of course, folks, this is full spoilers for all episodes that have come out now. We will do our best to avoid future spoilers, though. Mitch, we got 3 episodes we're talking about here. How are you feeling so far?
It feels like more Percy Jackson. I've said this in the past, I grew up reading these books, so I've really enjoyed their interpretation of the source material. I think it's definitely done a more entertaining job of doing so than the film that released, more than 10 years ago? I don't remember exactly when that came out.
Sea of Monsters movie.
I know the book came out 20 years ago.
2013.
Yeah. So that movie came out 13 years ago because we're in 2026 now. and Griffin feels infinitely older. But no, I think this show is doing a great job of presenting the material in a much more accurate and albeit interesting way than that film did. Um, the leads continue to impress me. Walker Scoble is Percy. Like I can't see anyone else in this role now. Like he's kind of perfect, especially after episode 5 and the stuff that we got with Cersei. Yeah, continue to enjoy this week to week. It's not one of those things where like I'm itching for the next episode to be there so I can binge it in its entirety immediately, like I was with Stranger Things when that dropped in 3 parts over the holiday period. But it is definitely one that for me is continuing to deliver on what I want from a Percy Jackson show, and it's not doing anything that is going above and beyond in that regard. But I think for what it is, it's doing a great job of adapting the source material.
Yeah, I think this is. I am a little bit higher on it because I am at that point of like I am excited for when this drops on Wednesdays, um, which is hilarious because
Whereas I forgot that this drops on Wednesdays. So when you were saying, "Oh, we should do an episode," I forgot that there was an episode I hadn't watched yet.
Yeah, folks, we were supposed to record this like yesterday or the day before.
But also this 2-week period between the holidays and New Year's and work and all that. When you have a family, like when you have a kid, oh my God, that time disappears. Like it just doesn't exist. I've had like 2 days, and it was the last 2 days where I did very little. And even then, that involved entertaining somebody visiting from, out of province. Like it's, I'm tired.
Fair.
I'm just so tired.
Yeah, I really look forward to these, which is kind of ironic talking about Stranger Things. I still haven't watched the last 2 drops of episodes.
You really should.
We'll do an episode.
I really want to talk about that because I saw the finale in theaters.
Yeah, we will do that. I will commit to sitting down and watching that. But no, I'm really loving this. I think you mentioned, yeah, Walker Scoble is great, but especially like Leah Jeffries as Annabeth, like is one of my favorite.
She's fantastic in this. Yeah.
Daniel Dimer as Tyson continues to be one of my favorites in this.
Biggest surprise for me this season.
I
for sure.
love him so much. But also, it's the other characters we got, right? Like Adam Copeland coming back.
We got Blockbuster Mitch.
I don't know who that is.
So in Clarice, so this is something that stood out to me. In Clarice's crew, when they're bringing back these people from failed wars, and the one Blockbuster employee lost the streaming wars and then died, his name is Mitch.
I thought that was very funny. I did not realize his name was Mitch, and I love that.
I caught it immediately.
But yeah, I think the standout for me, surprisingly, is Dior Goodjohn. It is Clarice. That was kind of one of the things I've been very surprised about. We've turned this bit into much more of a race, and then they come together and shit goes sideways almost immediately.
Yeah.
I think like as the books eventually get there, right, for Clarice going away from being the bully and more just kind of being a little bit of a nuisance, but ultimately a force for good. And I love how quickly we've gotten there with the show. I love that Clarice has become there's so much depth to her character in this show. Her issues with her dad fully on display throughout all of this.
I feel like parental issues is just that is the core crux of this entire universe, not even this show. Like everything from the conflict with Luke to the stuff with Annabeth in the 5th episode here with her mom, like every single one of these kids has mommy or daddy issues, and it is on full display through these 3
issues
episodes.
Is not just the crux of this, it's the crux of Greek mythology.
Well, yeah.
Again, half of Greek mythology is Zeus can't keep it in his pants. I really do love that, though, like getting to see that, because we get to see it with Percy and Annabeth, sure. Man, we got to see it with Annabeth in the Cece episode.
I was surprised.
But yeah, I adore this show so much. I think these 3 episodes as well are very good at showing how many different things you can do in a show. Like, first episode is cruise ship. It's very cruise ship vibe, and it's very fun. Second episode is almost entirely on the ocean, on Clarice's ship, which I love how we've made no reference to the fact that what it was originally. I like that we've changed that a little bit. Originally, this being a warboat from the Civil War.
Yeah.
And then the spa in episode 5 here. leading into the sirens. Like, oh god, all of this. Like, these are three very different beats that I think have been very, very good. Um, Jumping into like some of them, right? Like everything happened on the Princess Andromeda was great. I don't love this Allison Sims character they keep trying to make be a thing.
I mean, I thought we were done with her when she went overboard, and then we clearly weren't, which
And then she
was.
keeps coming back.
I wonder if there's more to it than that, and we'll find out as they start to try and establish more of these characters outside of just, it's Luke's posse.
Yeah. I'm curious if we try to make that a thing or if we just go with it. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, I see the character you're replacing from the books, and I'm like, you're still better than what that was. So like, I'm here for all of it. But
It makes more sense given where we are in the world. The fact that book came out 20 years ago, there are things that should change, and this was one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's fine. It still serves the plot to the same extent without really changing much from the source.
mm-hmm. The other crazy thing that I was not expecting to get so quickly is that we saw the sarcophagus. We saw Kronos, which I'm like, shit, it's happening. Things are cool. Everything with the golden fleece, fuck yeah. That is what this season is about.
Yeah.
It was briefly touched on episode 3, so I just want to continue to shout out Tantalus just being an asshole and a dumbass. I love it. Grover.
Timothy Simons plays it perfectly.
He's so good. I love that one of my favorite things is I love that he gets the coordinates wrong.
Yeah.
And Clarice is just like, God damn it. Again, that race aspect of this. Moving on into the other thing with episode 3 is the Great Prophecy. This big sticking point of this is what's going to make.
This is the through line of the plot of the first series of Percy Jackson books.
But also like how this is going to make or break Percy and Annabeth's relationship in this. And obviously it makes it. We all know this. But I really loved how they did it of Percy's just full trust in Annabeth. To get to the end where it's like, you're right, I wish I didn't know this.
Yeah.
And
because he trusts her, and he should have trusted her in that respect as well.
Yeah. They have such a it's not even that because like she tells him, but it's like I love that they only have a fraction of this of the Great Prophecy, because the Great Prophecy itself is like, hey, child of the big three is going to do crazy shit. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
Because shocking, the people with the most power are going to do crazy shit.
It's almost like history will repeat itself with Zeus overthrowing Kronos.
That's my favorite thing that's my favorite thing about the Great Prophecy is that it's like it's the most no shit. Of course, something's going to happen. Yeah. Prophecy in the entire franchise. Speaking of prophecies, I loved Clarice in the attic. I love that her first
Oracle just is such a creepy experience, both in the books and here. So I'm kind of glad it translated as well as it did.
Well, also I forget when. Nope, that's future spoiler. I'm not going to do that.
Park it.
Things happen. Bringing it together though, episode 4. How do you feel about Scylla and Charybdis? Because I was very surprised with how good that CG looked.
Yeah, I had no qualms with it. Which there are definitely times in this show where I am not a huge fan, but here it worked fine.
Yeah, we saw like that little bit of Scylla in like the first episode.
Yeah.
I was like, oh right, I forgot that sea monster was in there.
I think it just works really well in action shots, where especially with the way that the scene is. Like again, this just goes back to the cinematography department here, the lighting department, really knowing what's up, and the fact that you can hide blemishes in crazy CG by water particles and other fog effects and things of that nature. It adds a level of ominousness. That's not a word.
No, that's not a ring. Whatever. It makes things more
it adds an element of unease, but it also just makes it very easy from a technical perspective to hide any of those sort of flaws that would stick out to the viewer if this was, broad daylight, fully lit. Here's this giant sea creature. But no, I think it went really well. And I think also understanding where we get with the plot of this book, there are other creatures where I'm very interested to see how those will be portrayed, given that they will likely be a much more prominent role through this season as opposed to these two monsters here.
I will say the big one that I was surprised with, it's kind of getting into episode 5, is how good Polyphemus looks.
And that was the one that I wasn't super jazzed about.
I don't think he looks great, but he looks way better than I was expecting.
I mean, he looks a lot better than he did in the movie. So I know it's not saying a lot, but still.
Yeah, you know that bar that's under the ground? We got over that one.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I love everything about this. I love seeing Clarice's struggle in all of this, and like, I love her. I love her choice here. I think it's fantastic. Um, of no, I'm gonna fight what I can see. I think that's very Clarice, and I love that it immediately backfires.
Yeah.
And I hope we get to see her again soon.
I mean, we do see her in episode 5 a bit. So
You're a bit. I guess I am excited to see where that goes because I don't
yeah,
remember that being in the original book of her meeting up.
I do think
that way.
Polyphemus did capture her in the book.
Let me rephrase. I don't remember it being as important in the book.
Right. Yeah. It was definitely B plot or just completely ignored, and it'll be interesting to see how they make it a priority here with the crew.
Yeah. Then moving into the 5th and final episode for this episode, at least, Cersei. Checking into the CC Spa. I was very surprised that we're starting with right off the bat. We're just saying Cersei.
But I do like how it was handled.
Oh yeah.
Because it was one of the things of like, yeah, I understand my path or my past. I understand the baggage that's there, but you know, the whole idea of the fatal flaw and her fatal flaw just being to help travelers and to help heroes is, yeah, there was no reason for her to hold back. So I actually like that change here versus what we got in the book. So also, it helps to just drive the plot forward in a way that you can wrap up these 2 chapters in a single episode.
I think this episode as well is like kind of gets into the core of why I love Percy Jackson, which is you have these big crazy things happening, but ultimately what it really comes down to is your main characters and how they feel about each other.
Yeah.
And like the entirety of this episode is Annabeth and Percy figuring out what their relationship is right now. It is them figuring out they're figuring out their friendship of how much do I trust this person? Oh no, I do actually trust them implicitly, and I need to get through this. I love Cersei's magic here, right? Like it's very fun, it's very unique. All of the animals of which she turned people into, the vitamins coming back into play, all of that, I genuinely love that. But for me, that
Blackbeard.
I love that Blackbeard just randomly pops up. I think that is but just a tiny portion of what the rest of this and why this is so fun. I think what it comes down to for me with this episode was the siren scene. Right? Like
yeah, it's really off-putting in the best way possible.
So did you think it was real when Athena came down?
Yeah, for a second. I didn't catch it right away.
Yeah, same. I was like, "What?" But no, surely
that.
Athena's like famously stays up. Like surely she didn't.
And sure enough, you were right.
But for me, it's like it's that line from Percy of like, "All I saw was you." Because take it in how you mean it. Either his temptation from the sirens was Annabeth, or he has so much faith in this person that she was able to protect him from it. It's just such a powerful line.
Yeah, I hope we get better. I know it would probably take, juxtaposition from the gods or something to interject and explain away how that actually worked. But that is one piece of exposition that I would love to get, just because it shouldn't have worked. Like the premise is like the premise of the power of friendship overcomes all is it's a nice sentiment, but it shouldn't actually physically manifest into something that allows them to do these crazy asinine things.
I mean, it does though in the books as well with future spoilers. Like Percy's fatal flaw is Annabeth.
Yeah.
And that's always been one of my favorite things about this character is he is loyal to a fault. We have it in this episode, right? Of he sees the prophecy and whatnot. He's like, I will burn it all down for you. Not if, I will.
I will, yeah.
And I love that so much because that is Percy. That is what this kid is. Um,
That's why there's so much risk in letting him live.
and I think we're starting to see Percy kind of not fully realize, but getting there of how similar he is to Luke. Because
Yeah.
that's always been like one of the impressive things to me is like Percy and Luke are two sides of the same
They're
coin
two
to me.
sides of the same coin.
They have almost entirely the same beliefs, but different ways of going about it.
And just different external forces that are, pointing them, and like their guiding principles are skewed by those external forces that are pressuring them.
I mean, I really do think it is the power of Sally Jackson.
Well, it's the power of Sally Jackson up against the fatal influence of Kronos,
Yeah.
right? Because in another universe, if Percy is that first vessel, there might be a different outcome to some of these things.
Yeah,
Even with
Sally
Sally
wasn't.
in the picture, I do think that makes it harder. But at the same time, if Kronos is there and Sally's not, Percy's likely doing the exact same things.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in season 1 and we saw it a little bit in the first episode here, but like, dude has thought of Kronos, he goes straight to mom.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love Sally so much.
Yeah.
I understand why we don't get more of her because like ultimately she is a side character and she is that safety spot, and to get a good story you have to leave safety. But I just wish we had more Sally just in general because Sally's great.
Yeah.
Um,
But I understand for the premise of the story, you have to kind of keep those interactions few and far between.
oh yeah. One other thing with just the sirens in general, they're horrifying. That's straight up horror movie shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gross. But I mean, it's horror movie stuff for kids. So like I do still think it's approachable enough for it not to scare away the
Yes,
preteen crowd.
but that jump scare when they swap from Athena to the siren
That was a lot.
was a lot, even for me. As someone who like actively watches horror stuff, that one really got me.
I don't. It didn't really get me, but it might have also just been my brain wasn't expecting it, so it didn't really
I
react.
was in full like denial mode, so maybe that's why it hit me. I don't know. I love this show. I think this show's fantastic. I love talking about this show in general because I think it's going to be very interesting, and I'm also very curious where they're going to land the ship. Right, because we got 3 episodes left. We're at Polyphemus next episode.
Yeah, you assume that stuff wraps up there, and then it's back to the. Oh, I don't want again, no future spoilers, but it does seem like we're on a collision course with where the book, like, I can see the logical separation between the Polyphemus stuff, the resolution of Luke stuff, and then the go forward stuff, teasing what's coming in the next season / book.
Yeah, I'm looking ahead. Right, like no book spoilers, but like our next 3 episodes here are nobody gets the fleece. I go down with the ship, and the fleece works its magic too well. I could very much see. Okay, this next episode is Polyphemus. Last episode maybe a conflict on the Princess Andromeda. That results in them blowing that thing up, and then episode 8 is them back at camp.
Yeah, that's where my head is at as well.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm curious to see where they land this ship. I think they will do it well.
We shall have to wait and see. Not too much longer. We've only got 3 episodes left. We'll be back again later this week to figure out what happens next and compare and contrast what came from the books and do more of this, same sort of reminiscing on both the source material and where we think it's going.
Yeah, it's been fun. We love doing it. Of course, we're going to continue doing this as the episodes drop, so keep an eye out for those. But until then, folks, be good to each other and have a magical day.